Alright, make sure we're live because there's usually when the video starts, it like takes a little bit for it to actually for the feed to actually be live. So we don't want to start prematurely.
Has it ever stopped us before? No, just
No, we have a couple times and like cut out the whole intro. All right.
I know.
Yeah.
Welcome.
We are
Welcome,
indeed live.
yes.
Welcome
to BatYard's Finest, where we do we talk about pop culture, movies, and Superman and Batman. And I am Matt. This guy, I don't know if I'm flipped, so
We're just gonna go in the order of the boxes.
Yeah, just go next person over, please.
I'm Jerry, your Green Lantern from Ola.
Josh from Metropolis. We got our special guest.
Yes, special guest.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
All right.
That's it.
That's
the titular man.
Yeah, exactly.
How's it feel to be on the podcast?
Yeah, we finally got you, man.
Finally got you.
Yeah,
I've always been hearing good stuff about
Good to
you.
be here.
All right, Matt, take it away.
Okay. All right. So in this podcast, we are going to be talking about Hulk and the Agent of Smash, episode 10 of season 1, Wendigo Apocalypse. And we're going to be talking about the main event is Antlers. And anyone got any BS? Anybody BS? Come on, guys. There's some BS out there. Dude.
Crispy, we have the same one, so we can go last.
Do we?
Yeah.
I guess I'll start. The only thing I have is that Zachary Levi's birthday, Shazam's birthday. So happy birthday to Shazam.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday?
I don't know. I don't really have any news. No, wait, there's something big. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there was something big. Oh, God damn it.
Is that what
going on with Hugh Jackman?
That was the one for me.
All right, you do it, Matt. I don't
No, go ahead. You already said it. So
no,
go.
Go ahead.
No,
go
you
ahead.
already said it. Go. Go.
I just know Hugh Jackman is potentially going to be in Deadpool 3. What is it? Deadpool 4?
Yeah, Deadpool 3.
Deadpool
3.
Deadpool 7.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so is this real? I don't know if
this is legit.
Yeah, this is real.
This is real.
I've been seeing it all over, and Deadpool and Wolverine are going to, I guess, temporarily join the MCU from what it looks like all the sources are saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, it's long overdue.
True. And like in this one is like it can send Deadpool into the MCU forever, and Ryan Reynolds keeps going, and Hugh Jackman gets left behind just for this one fucking movie. This one movie is for him to pop in and pop out. So it could be like that. What
is it going to be like a shitty cameo where he's in it for like 10 seconds?
No. It's like meant for him to be actually in the movie. But this movie could be like the movie that ties Deadpool into falling into the actual the universe of like Marvel, like the movies. So he can like literally be like bullshitting and like accidentally fall into a fucking portal that Doctor Strange, let's just say that, and falls right in the lap of freaking Spider-Man. Like, who are you? And then bullshit with Spider-Man for the rest of the movie. I don't know. Like at the end,
you never know what
the hell's gonna happen.
Time will tell. Ryan, what do you think of Wolverine? Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in general.
I mean, I never thought he did a bad job. You know, I thought he was pretty good. I haven't seen anything past. I don't even know if it was Origins. Like, I definitely saw like the X-Men movies. I didn't see Logan.
Oh yeah, you went. Ooh. Logan's worth watching. Yeah, that's worth
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but if what I gather from what you're saying is correct, they are Marvel characters and already exist in movies, but they're not part of the like ever expanding MCU of today. So does that mean that before the last Spider-Man movie, Tobey Maguire and the other guy were also not technically in the MCU, but now they are? Like, does Doctor Strange have the power to bring people into the MCU?
It's Kevin
Basically.
Feige.
That's essentially, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They,
Correct.
yeah, they kind of loophole it all in together.
Big Daddy Mickey Mouse said, "I want all of these properties."
Yes. Well,
Yeah, for real.
it's like he's regaining his puzzle pieces that he got because Marvel was such a freaking. You have this, you have that of me, and you have this, and like, all right, we're just getting that bitch back. So.
So would it be the same Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman you're saying, or just Hugh Jackman? Would it be a different Deadpool?
No, it'd be the same Deadpool.
It would be
It's gonna be the same Deadpool. Wait, no, because this would be a different because
It's gonna be the same
Who
actor.
thought-
Though. It's gonna be Ryan Reynolds.
same
right?
actor, yeah, same. Oh, right. But the thing is be like may be a possibility to be a different Wolverine because due to the universe of Deadpool because Origins had weird fucking Ryan Deadpool back in like Vietnam and like not even like yeah, it was like an 80s, 70s, 80s time period. They
Is
had
that the
him
one
in.
on the big like nuclear power plant thing?
Yeah, and that one everyone
Yeah.
fucking hated, so we never brought him back. Thanks to the Deadpool
Oh
manga,
yeah.
they did bring him back. But we're not going to talk about that at the moment. But yeah, they did that. But like this could be a different Wolverine. So,
Okay.
Oh.
it's confusing. It's gonna be confusing as fuck. But whatever, it's gonna work. I'm just hoping we get a Wolverine costume. That's awesome.
Yeah. But so it's gonna be the same actors. It just could be a different universe or some.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Deadpool's universe where he's been lying, just with added whatever Wolverine that's in that universe is there.
Okay.
I think whoever is the new Wolverine should be like the yellow and blue with like the big black.
The classic.
What?
Yeah, they got. Yeah. Show the
I would like to
Okay,
see the
so-
classic.
Still never got it.
So, like at the end of the Wolverine, we got the costume, but we didn't get to see him wear it. At the end, he gets
Yeah,
a
that's
briefcase from this like Japanese company he was working with, and ended up having to kill the CEO. But whatever. And he opens the
Spoilers.
briefcase in it. Whatever. It's so old. Come on, Ryan. And he opens
Looks like
the
8 years old.
briefcase. He opens a briefcase and there's his outfit, but we never get to utilize it yet. So
Yeah, it's a tease. It's a lame tease. You just gotta.
Okay.
I don't know.
any other BS? Come on.
Well, yeah, I don't really have anything. Ryan,
I have BS.
Oh wait, go ahead, Jerry.
So Monday, hang on, I'm eating a fruit bowl. I overcooked my dinner, so I'm eating fruit to be healthy instead.
There you go.
So I don't know if anybody saw it, but this past Monday, Regal had, a $5 mystery movie.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Everybody was thinking like, oh, it's going to be Shazam because of rumors. And then people were like, no, it's going to be Amsterdam with Christian Bale and several other actors. But then it was, everybody was like, we don't know what it's going to be. So it turned out to be the world's greatest beer run. And I'm not going to get into it in case, because it hasn't officially been released yet, I don't think.
No,
But,
I think he has another week or two.
But essentially, it's Zac Efron. It's a war movie, which really surprised me. I don't generally like war movies because, history's hard to see, especially on a big screen. But Zac Efron was playing this guy named Chicky in New York, and, this was set during the heat of the Vietnam War. And he had this amazing idea to go over to Vietnam and deliver all of his friends a beer from their, local bar that they, I guess, used to frequent and whatnot.
They had Bill
He makes
Murray
it over there, and then he learns what he thought. He learned the truth of what was really going on during Vietnam, and it changed his outlook and perspective on what the war truly was.
Yeah.
And it definitely changed his life. Well, from the movie, it appeared as though it changed his life, and he had a deeper appreciation for, different things, and he definitely evolved as a person and decided to get himself together and make some very big moves and changes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so this movie is supposed to come out like in the next couple weeks, and Regal had like some special or something for
Yeah, it was
like an early showing.
I think
Yeah, it
we
was a
talked about
very
this in the
early showing.
podcast, the last podcast.
Yeah,
They did a
I remember.
random
Yeah.
movie Monday, and that was on the 26th, and that's what we got. We, like Jerry said, like it
Mhm.
was those movies that we were talking about. Like it was supposed to be those movies, but nobody really knew. It was a mystery, and nobody really broadcast this freaking movie. No one's really showing trailers of this movie. I
Yeah,
haven't seen a trailer or a poster until that movie showed up in theaters in front of my face. I was like,
like
what
I
the
heard,
fuck am
I
I
heard this
watching?
title. But like, yeah, I guess Bill Murray's in it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was a very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot, and I usually steer away from historical and war movies, but this was, if you want to see a war movie but from a different angle, I would definitely say this is something everyone should see at least once,
Yes.
if not twice.
It's strange because it's not like he's going into war. He's enlisted. It's his own choice, and just he's
He
somewhat
just shows up.
military.
Not like
He's somewhat
drafted.
Yeah, he literally just
no.
shows up. He's like,
Okay.
he's somewhat
He's a man.
military.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like somewhat military, but he isn't like he's not brought in at that moment. He's on break. So he's supposed to be like at his base and on like what was it? In Massachusetts that he's supposed to be at. And instead he just stopped on a fucking boat and sailed out to Vietnam and then started doing the beer run. And the way he does these like beer routes is funny as hell because he just gets the route.
It's almost Looney Tune like.
It is.
It's so.
Yeah, this looks like
it's such a harebrained and crazy
it's-
idea.
The character the guy he plays is a funny fucking guy. That's all. He's like, he just says all these weird shit, like all this weird shit. It's basically just like listening to a frat kid just talking, but at the same time in the most serious fucking time period, like war just happening right in front of you. Yeah, everyone else is around him is just like, dude, you're not supposed to be here.
But it was a very excellent movie. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm like sold on like rewatching this again to see more of the shit that was like in it.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm looking at it now. I didn't even hear about this.
Sounds like
I mean, that's a
good.
good. Yeah, it sounds like good marketing, like for it to be an early showing for like a movie.
And
Probably not
it's
too many
Zac
people even knew
Efron.
about.
And it's Zac Efron. I'm not like he goes like here and there for me with like the latest movies he's been in. And this movie actually kind of like blew me away because I'm just like shocked that he's actually trying his best in this. But his last movie that I think I know he was in was that Baywatch movie with The Rock. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was in that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
But that's the BS I had. If you get the chance to see World's Greatest Beer Run, you'll take something away from it because it takes away a lot of preconceived notions of war, because it takes a civilian and puts them in a war setting without them having to do the fighting.
Oh yeah.
And I will say this, there's one death that does happen in the movie where I did shed a few tears for. I was very much so hoping that this particular person would make it all the way.
Was it this is the person I'm thinking of? Okay.
It is. I'm not gonna lie, I did. I
just wanted to clear it up because no. But there's like there's a few deaths of certain characters that were like there's a certain death of certain characters that we're supposed to meet at least one person we're supposed to meet, then there's other deaths of people we met in the movie that happened. And I was trying to pinpoint the one that he's talking about.
Yep, that's the same
I
one.
got you.
Very, very sad. But that's all I have.
Ryan, do you have any like
Anybody
movie
else?
news or anything you want to like bring up? That's just kind of like this part is just like a opening segment. Like,
No, not really. I've been slacking on
Okay.
watching stuff lately.
yeah, so have
Okay,
I.
then that's
That's
Yeah,
why
I
we
don't
do
know
it.
if I told you, Josh. When you told me what we were gonna watch for today, I had already watched it 3 days prior to him even telling me that's what you picked.
wait, the movie?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Antlers.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's
God.
perfect timing, man. That's like,
Yeah.
Looks like it. All right, so it looks like the BS moment's over. Let's go into the short. Who do I pick? Don't you point down? That's just mean. Josh, you go.
Okay. So this episode, Agents of what is it called? Hulk and the Agents of Smash. I want to say Agents of Hulk. Wendigo Apocalypse aired 2013. When a curse of the Wendigo begins to spread across the team, the Hulk fighting their way to a real life horror movie, and shows that Wolverine ends up being a Wendigo. And they have to pursue the Wendigo King or whatever the hell. that's basically that's the basic summary of the episode. So I don't know. Just for me personally, like I like the Hulk when he's like just a loner. Like there's like too many Hulks, and I don't know any of the characters. I was like, who's that Hulk? Who's this Hulk? I knew She-Hulk was, but I don't know. I don't know if you've seen more of the show, Matt.
No, like that's actually my first introduction. Because I was trying to find Wendigo stuff, and I was like, "Oh, Marvel, Wendigo, why not?" Then I was watching a video of like somebody. It was like, "Okay, who here has really heard of the Wendigo for Wolverine's enemy? Like one of his enemies? Has anybody?"
Mm-mm.
Okay, it finds out.
This seems like a niche thing.
Well, it finds out.
It seems like it would be like a one-time thing.
No, it's been around. The Wendigo's been a thing for Wolverine, looks like, for a while, but he's just superly underrated and barely used. But supposedly has like here and there great battles with Wolverine. But like that's by a YouTube video I was watching because I was like, oh, I stumbled upon. I've been ending up watching these like what's this underrated character? This guy, and it's like Wendigo, and the guy that breaks down the Wendigo character and then talks about like the best moments of him and everything. It finds out he's been out there for a while.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah, the design's pretty similar, like the comic book. Huh. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense. He's from Canada. It's like a North American myth, Native American myth, I should say, and it makes sense for like the northern roots for him to fight a Wendigo. I guess how old is Wolverine?
Wolverine. Oh,
he's like
over 100 years old.
Isn't he?
Yeah,
he's
probably
back.
Like
I think he's
a Wendigo.
He fought. I think he fought in. No, he's actually more than that. I think he fought in the Civil War.
But he's
then
Canadian.
Onwards.
So
no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He just fucking.
It's Wolverine.
No,
he likes to fight.
God.
I don't know. I don't have that much to say about this episode. I'll just say my thoughts because I don't really have too much to say. I want to hear what you guys think. So I'll anyway. I thought the animation was pretty decent. The encounter with like Wolverine and the Hulk in the beginning, like how he's pissing him off. I like that like interaction. Like it seemed like they've had some history together. I was wondering too, Matt. Like, is this still? I don't know. Well, I guess you haven't seen. Have you seen other episodes?
No. Well,
I've
our
watched
expert's
this in its
Jerry.
entirety.
Oh, you have, Jerry? I was
Mhm.
just. I was wondering, like, if they met before, like this episode.
They don't meet, but they definitely pull from the comics. Like, oh yeah, they've definitely fought before. They've had a team up or two. They definitely show like, oh yeah, they've got history, but they don't really delve too much further past it.
Like the part where Hulk is like, yeah, the first time I met Wolverine, we tried to kill each other. That is the first issue of like, well, that's one of
Yeah.
the, like, I think that was 200 and something Hulk, and that's like the first introduction of Wolverine, and that's like his first target is to kill the Hulk, and they just go
Mhm.
back and forth. I think go for like two comics of them fighting each other. And that's when they have like every time there's multiple occasions where Wolverine is fighting Hulk, and that like it doesn't end well for each other. I think the last thing I know of Wolverine fighting the Hulk, Wolverine ends up cutting the freaking the Hulk open with his fucking claws and killing a whole family off, and that's I think an old man Logan.
I think that's right
Yeah.
too.
I thought the Wendigo design was pretty cool. I like that, and I kind of like. I understand the tie-in with Wolverine. Like I was saying earlier, it kind of makes sense. Like he would fight a Wendigo. I thought that was cool. I just didn't. I thought the other Hulk characters were kind of annoying. Like I didn't understand the styling when they're like sitting in front of a camera and like they're talking to a camera, like basically just talking how they feel. It's like, what the hell is this?
I want to say like the blue
like
guy.
Jersey Shore.
So the reason they do that is they actually have like a web show, believe it or not.
Okay.
Because we all know Hulk. He's like, he's always been angry. He's been destructive. People are afraid of him. And A-Bomb, who actually came up with this idea before he was Hulkified, he was like, well, why don't we record, you outside of, the violence to basically showcase people, I'm not this same person anymore. I'm somebody different. And then that's where, I haven't watched this since it aired. So my memory's a little bit fuzzy. But then, She-Hulk, General Ross Thunderbolt came in, already Hulkified, and Scar, they basically all came together to fight one of Hulk's, old enemies. And they were like, you know what? We can do pretty good as a team together. Why don't we see, how much more good we can do as a unit instead of, destruction?
Yeah. Okay. I feel like with that context of the show, I feel like I'd probably appreciate this more than I did because I was like, who the hell is this? Who's this blue Hulk? Who's this one picking his boogers?
Yeah.
Like the long hair one, whatever, the stupid one.
Scar. Yeah, so Scar, they changed up his origin story in here a little bit because so in the comics, Scar is the son of Hulk when he was on the Gladiator planet. But I think they just changed it up for something else. Like I said, I haven't watched this. Oh God, what's about to be 10 years now?
Yeah.
So they just changed it up for the.
I was kind of surprised. Like I thought it was newer.
They just changed it up for the theatrics of it. It wasn't bad, but I'm like, that doesn't sound right because I had just watched, not watched, but I watched a YouTube video about World War Hulk, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Hulk has a kid, and he's a gray Hulk instead of a green Hulk. And then, General Ross Thunderbolt was, one of Hulk's oldest enemies because he's like, we got to kill him. He's this big, green monster. And then he was like, well, if you can't beat him, join him. And that's how he became Red Hulk. And, Red Hulk's ability is the madder he gets, the more heat his body produces.
Yeah.
A-Bomb.
Red Hulk isn't Bruce. I thought like Red Hulk was the same character. I thought it was like Bruce Banner.
No.
Nope.
That's something way different. I know what you mean, but that's something way different.
Okay. That's a thing though, right? Like
that is I think maybe like the early parts of Hulk that was a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember because I think that's when he gets I think that's one of his final phase like forms that we have now for him. I think that's when he starts getting a little red tint to him. Like Jerry, like basically does a Piccolo. That's what he does. This basically happens to
Yeah.
him.
You put him in vinegar and he just brines.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like I know
Okay.
yeah, I had the same feeling with like how you were having with this with like certain well it was mostly of A-Bomb because A-Bomb was just like kind of getting annoying with like
Yeah.
the whole like movie thing. He's like he's trying to remind everybody, but
didn't
he's like
like
saying
that.
it in the most annoying way, and I'm like I get what you're trying to do, but like just let it roll. Let's see what happens. Another thing that like confuses me with this is that Hulk really can't get hurt, but the Wendigo can scratch his skin. Like he can get shot. He can get shot. Get stabbed by things. All this other shit really can't get penetrated unless it's like at the same density as his skin. And I doubt the Wendigo claws like really can are at that density. So like, how are they all getting like cut? Other than, I get Wolverine. Like,
He wasn't angry enough, Matt.
oh my god.
Well,
I
the
didn't know
Wendigo
that.
had an ethereal form.
He's on
The
passive
Hulk's
mode.
not immune to
I'm
ghosts.
just chilling. I'm on like level 1 skin. Hi. Yeah, it's like the only thing like I don't get from this whole thing. They're all Hulks and they're supposed to be like their skin's supposed to be tough enough. I'm like, how are they getting really cut? I need to really look into Wendigo to see what's up with this.
They're
Like,
not immune to ghosts.
what?
Hulks aren't immune to ghosts.
Oh, they are or
Yeah.
they aren't?
They aren't. The Wendigo is basically a ghost.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
whenever they tried to hit him, he turned into a puff of smoke.
Yeah, you calling Wendigos weak, Matt?
No,
It's
I
like,
didn't
Are you
say that. I just-
disrespecting the Wendigo?
Like if they
it's a
can't,
Hulk
if they can't
is
fight
Hulk.
each other, there's no
Like-
story. If they can't get penetrated by the Wendigo, then what's the point? You know, like, then there'll be no conflict.
I think that's a different video. Okay. No, there could have been a whole. No, there could be a whole thing, but like it'd be just more of like there's a beat 'em up fucking video more. Like there'd be just a horde of just Wendigos, like basically a town's worth of Wendigo, until they actually
Town's
get
worth.
That would be pretty
until
cool.
you found the king.
Picturing like a
That really could
saloon
have been it.
operated by Wendigos.
Yeah.
Knock the glasses down.
The Wendigo have their own civilization, and it's better than
I
humanity.
want to see that episode. That sounds way cool.
So Ryan,
I'm curious, Ryan, what did you think about it?
I didn't really get the whole picture, to be honest. I got like the spark notes from YouTube.
Mark notes are
I
still
will
good.
say I was disappointed by the design. I would have to disagree with Josh. I don't know. That's not what I think of when I think of Wendigo. So I guess
I
I'll
know.
just liberties and
I'm
all
with
that.
you.
I
do
agree with you there.
I'm
on
with
that.
you
I
on
agree
that.
with you there.
It reminded me of Beast more than anything.
I'm just saying, like the design
Oh, yeah,
of
yeah.
the Wendigo from the from the show looks like the comic book version that Matt. was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
It's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah,
To the
Yeah,
comic,
well,
right.
yeah. So I
Doesn't
was like, oh,
doesn't
that's
look
gotta
like
Yeah.
doesn't look like the artist that made that designed the Wendigo character really tried to pull that much from a Native American
Not at all.
Like yeah, like
No, I
mythology.
don't think Disney can afford a lawsuit like that.
Hey, they didn't need to
Who's
go
gonna
that
sue
far. They don't have to go that
they own
far.
everything.
It's just a design. It's just
They're
that'd
the
be
new
horrible if they
Rockefeller.
own. God. That's not okay. All right, so what's it called? So what do you guys want to rate it?
Oh. I'll give it like a 5.5, like just for the fight and like Wolverine tied in. I don't know. I wish they almost like didn't have the Jersey Shore like cutaway, like I'm gonna talk to the camera now stuff. And I think I would have been more into it. So I'll give it like a 5.5.
Ryan?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
There.
It I do agree with Ryan. The design for the Wendigo King, I wasn't really feeling even when I first watched it. I'm like, man, I've seen this character design somewhere else from my childhood, but I could never put my finger on it until he said Beast. I'm like, it's a spitting image of Beast.
Yeah.
No, I see.
I said maybe he's recovering from mange or something.
You got albino.
But it
This is new form.
I know one thing that I always loved about this episode was that, the whole focus was, Hulk was trying to tell everyone else, contain your rage, don't give in to the beast, try to maintain, a little bit of your sanity. Because as we all know for the Hulk, the second he gets mad, he just starts flying off the deep end. And he was the voice of reason this time around, who actually, if he didn't, try to maintain his composure, who knows what would have actually happened when they fought the Wendigo King. And who's to say, Wolverine might not have been a casualty in some way, shape, and form. And then the Wendigo King just goes all throughout the world, turning the entire human race into Wendigos.
Like
that would be awesome. I like that vision of like a whole town. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like this is a whole town. Like, but like I see like what Jerry's saying with the Hulk trying to be the voice of reason. It's kind of scary having the Hulk as the voice of reason because it's like weird because we never really seen him be voice of reason. It's more I smash this, I break that, I throw this away, blah blah. And then because we don't really get like the smart Hulk ever until like really like the movies. They barely try to like work Hulk in as a smart character. So like I was actually amazed with this episode, like this shows like he's actually talking in like proper sentences and stuff.
Yeah.
But like if he just hulked out, imagine the Wendigo powers like worked with the Hulk powers, and he just keeps getting angrier and angrier. We just got a berserking Wendigo Hulk running around. I'm not gonna lie, the Wendigo King is just like gonna take worldwide domination at that point.
Yeah, that would be a cool design. I would like to see that. What would they do with that?
I don't know.
I will say, even when I first watched it, the whole camera cutaway thing, sometimes it fits because I'm like, I wonder what they're really thinking in this situation, but not for the Wendigo thing. I'm like, you're fighting a Wendigo. I want to see all the stuff with the Wendigo. But it was, I still give it a 7. Even rewatching it years later, I still enjoyed it. I got a little more laughs now that, I'm like, oh yeah, Wendigo. It's here to kill us all. Like a killer clown from space. But, I think the more you watch the show, the more you're like, it's not the Hulk I know, but I appreciate they're showing me a different side of the Hulk.
Yeah, I didn't hate the interpretation of the Hulk in the show. I almost like the Hulk more as like a Jekyll and Hyde thing, where he's just like a complete monster and he's almost like the villain. I think once he kind of becomes more of a hero, he becomes less interesting to me. I don't know. It's just like I know like the cliff notes of Hulk. I don't know too much about like the whole character, but
until basically we get Professor Hulk. That's all he is. It's just a walk around brute.
Yeah.
I think
I was not a fan of his like mannerisms. I don't know. I found him very annoying, actually.
in this episode.
Like, oh my god, the poor parents that had to like be in the kitchen while this was on in the living room.
I could see that. I definitely could see that. So
Ryan, you're saying he learns like complete English like in season 2 or something like that?
Yeah, this is first season though, right?
This is the first season.
Yeah, this first season.
So he's already talking.
way you're saying it.
Yes,
I'm
Josh,
so
the baby
proud
can
of him. This
talk.
is like his first words. I'm like, Jesus, thank God.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see. I don't know how the show is in general, but
They
it'd
do
be cool to, like,
flashbacks
see
of
an
him in
evolution.
school. It's like,
Yeah, you know,
this is
Beast
the
teaching
hope.
them, how to talk. So Ryan, with your
That's
Cliff
horrible.
Notes with your Cliff Notes version, what would you rate? What is this called? Planets Hulk Smash? Hulk's and the Agents of Smash. I don't know.
I'll give it a 6 1/4 to average it out. And
There you
Matt
go.
can
That was
take
mighty
it from there.
generous.
Yeah. Walking that thin line.
Wait, did you give
Oh,
your
God.
rating that? Did you give your number?
No, I haven't yet. I was letting you guys go.
Yeah,
We cut him off.
Yeah, what's yours?
I was waiting for all you guys to go, then go. But no, mine is gonna be a 6.5 because my conflictions are like basically almost the same as all of your guys' like conflictions with this.
Yeah.
But I enjoy what they were trying to do. I would love to change A-Bomb, but I don't know A-Bomb's character that much from comics or other like Marvel like projects that he was in. So like I can't really like, oh, I want to delete him because he's fucking annoying, but because they made him that way, or that's always gonna be him. I can't get rid of that personality. I don't want to be like that guy that'd be like, yeah, I just changed him because I fucking hate him. They should have done this a long time ago, like most people do sometimes. But I do. I kind of wish with the cutaways, like you guys were saying, like I kind of wish they would just mention that during the fucking show. Be like, instead of doing the cutaway, it could have just been more of them walking, looking around the area, and just be like, Hulk be like sidebar with like somebody else. Be like, what's the beef between you two? And he'd be just like, he tried killing me, blah blah, and just keep walking on.
Yeah, if they're just talking to each other instead of at the audience.
Yeah, they could have done that like in that kind of way, including it just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel natural either. It doesn't feel like it just feels like A-Bomb is just forcing them to do this because you get the A-Bomb logo in the corner and everything on the video. And just like I'm like, it's just A-Bomb.
Yes,
just like
A-Bomb definitely milked the hell out of this season 1.
It just yeah, like it just looks like like Hulk doesn't look like he wants to be there. So it looks like just A-Bomb's like, you have to fucking do this or we get canceled.
No, there's only, the one thing I do want to add, unless you have more to say, Matt.
Nah, go for it.
I just want to like, I wish they like set up more of a mystery of the Wendigo. You know, like a little bit of a build up instead of he's just kind of like, it's just kind of there. You know, like I don't know.
Well,
they just fight like Wolverine like instantly in like the first couple minutes, and then like they find the Wendigo.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I kind of wish. Well, this is like only like 30 minutes an episode.
I do agree.
Yeah, I agree with you too because like it'd be nicer. Like, oh, they do fight the Wolverine, but like it's like how everyone said in the beginning, like, oh, he's feral. He's being feral. He's got rabies and shit. So because he's not even like fully turned because his like regeneration powers is like fighting off the freaking effect.
Right.
So he's like barely anything. He just looks like he just got more beard. But like if they were just more lurking in the shadows and like running around causing more havoc, that would have been even better.
Yeah, for sure. Even if they did
like
like
a horror
Scooby-Doo
movie.
thing.
Let's just make a legit horror movie out of this thing instead of just saying it the whole time.
I will say from I think it's closer toward the end of season 1. But one of my favorite team ups he did, if I remember the episode right, is with the Thing from Fantastic Four, and they fight Leader.
Leader? Who's the leader?
Yeah, who's leader?
I'm lost on him.
He looks like a Crash Bandicoot, the Crash Bandicoot villain, the dude with the giant head that goes up, and he's yellow. His skin's yellow,
What the fuck?
except he's green. Hold on, wait, let me pull him up.
Oh
Like,
god,
the
what's
guy
his
with
name?
the big N on his forehead. Is that your
Yeah, that
yes.
guy.
Oh, yeah. He's like the brain Hulk guy. Okay.
Is that the guy
Yeah,
we
this
get
guy.
teased?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that the guy
It's
we
a-
get teased in like the Hulk movie that came out in like 2007 or 8 with Edward Noy? Was it Edward
Yeah, I
Norton?
think so. I think
And like
Yeah, this guy.
that's
and like he just gets
They do a
his
team
brain
up
starts
against
getting
this
bigger.
guy.
Okay, he's
yeah.
blue. He's blue in that one, right?
I thought he's green.
I
He
thought
should
I
be
saw
green.
blue in that picture, but
No, I think
that
it's
looks
just
more
a
familiar
reflection.
of blue. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's green. Well, that's cool. All right, Matt, take it away.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the next segment, the actual main point here. Antlers. I'm so awkward. Oh
That's
god,
fun.
it's been a while. It's like, this Brian's the guest. Let's just leave him be. Let's go with Jerry because he just finished the movie.
You dig?
Yeah. Hot off the
Yeah,
press.
he's getting warmed up. Yeah.
You got it in your brain. You got it fresh. Come on now.
All right. So, Antlers is a movie about a small town that is terrorized by a mysterious attack that turns out to be a Wendigo, and it delves further into a lot of emotional and psychological trauma that people have been through and how they deal with it. There is a small boy named Lucas, a woman whose name I can't remember, and her brother, who basically are trying to figure out what's going on and help this small child. And then they just go down this spiraling rabbit hole of, you know what? Things aren't what they seem. Let's go get some help. They get help from the previous sheriff, who pulls out a notebook and is telling them, like, yeah, you guys got a real bad Wendigo problem that you can never ever get rid of. So have fun with that. And the Wendigo is Lucas's father, who we still don't know who the previous Wendigo was, but he was doing his best to fight off the vengeful revenant by locking himself in. It was the attic, right? He locked
Yes.
himself in the attic.
They locked
Okay.
themselves in the attic.
He locked himself in the attic, and he gave his sons explicit directions: no matter what I say or what I do not let me out. Lock this every single time, and just essentially become, just keep me locked up like a rabid and sick animal. And then as his sickness, well, I guess you could call it a sickness. Possession. Yeah, I'd say possession. Yeah. As his possession progresses, it has horrific consequences on Lucas, who is being bullied at school. He's doing all of these, trapper things by feeding his dad and his brother live and fresh kills to sedate and sustain them so that the Wendigo spirit does not take over. And then by a stroke of misfortune, a woman goes to do a welfare check, and she is killed and eaten, and then the Wendigo spirit fully manifests through his father. And then there is more emotional and psychological trauma that is shown and dealt with, and that's the movie. This movie, it was good. I love this movie, but I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't know whether I should be happy, I should cry, if I should be mortally terrified. What the fuck?
I definitely had to let it stew for a while before I realized it was like more than just like a horror movie, Like it was definitely dealing with more than just a spooky spirit.
Yeah,
so my first question was: the girl's dad, was he a drunk who was sexually abusing her? The girl's dad, the lady.
I
The
believe
lady's
so,
dad.
yeah.
the teacher, yeah, she was getting sexually abused and beaten by her father as a drunk.
And he was. Did he have Alzheimer's or something? Why was he in a bed naked holding a stuffed animal?
Yeah,
I almost feel like that was representative of him having dealt with that too.
Yeah.
So almost like the other themes, how it's like a passed down curse of the Wendigo, you know. That's another aspect that's like showing, yeah, he was abusing her, but it happened to her, or it happened to him as well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Um,
like what I was watching it with my sister, and she was like not watching the movie at all. And like the one time she looked up was that scene where like the dad's naked on the bed, and she's like, "What the fuck are you watching?"
Would you?
I don't know. She's like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "I think it's the dad." It was just pretty funny. She's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, a little bit of this. This was supposed to come out in 2020 during the pandemic.
I remember
It
that
was
because I saw
supposed to.
trailers for this.
I was waiting a whole year for this fucking movie to come out, and then it finally got released, and I ended up going to see it with my coworker Rihanna, and we're like, all right, this was pretty fucking awesome. And then like a few weeks later, it was in like HBO. It was on like Orion Digital, so it was like then me and my dad watched it. But Nick was watching it with us, and so was Chris Josh. And Nick didn't like the whole things that was happening with the teacher. And he's like, "This is fucking weird. I don't like this." He made it a bigger deal and
Like
made
the teacher like calling the kid or whatever. Is that
no,
what you
no,
mean?
no. Like the teacher having like the visions of the father being fucking
Oh.
groping and like crazy stupid shit, and like
Mm.
that was happening, and like Nick made it like stupid and like started being an asshole and just like basically made
Why?
Chris feel uncomfortable.
What did he say?
It was such a long
Give
time
the
ago. He's like,
give the
"This is."
PG-13 version. What did he
He
say?
drops.
it sounds like he can't handle adult themes.
Yeah.
Oh well, I don't know. It made him uncomfortable supposedly for this
It
movie.
didn't
Like,
even last that long.
no,
was
it
like
didn't. So
that
it doesn't
short
make
burst.
sense. It doesn't make sense why he was being like that person, but like he was doing it, and it made Chris feel more uncomfortable. And then they both fucking left after that, and it was just me and my dad just looking at each other like, let's continue watching the movie. And like my dad's like, this
So-
is freaking good.
So neither one of you were naked tied to your
no,
dad watching
no,
it.
no.
Is that
no.
why they left?
We no.
Okay. That's good to know. Oh,
So
God.
here's my second
God.
question: who was the previous Wendigo, or is that information?
I don't
never-
think they even
I don't
That's-
think we
know
know. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but the thing is, like, we don't know who the previous Wendigo is, but we know who's the next Wendigo. That's really the
Yeah,
only
and that's
focus
my
point.
thing. I'm
And
like,
we know how
It's
to
really
stop
pissed
that.
knowing. But the thing is, not really. The thing is, he just has to die. Like, we just saved him just to kill him. That's the fucked up thing about this. And like the end, we're jumping to the end here, but basically we're just killing him all, like saving to kill this character off. That's basically what's gonna happen. If they made a second movie, it would just be him in the beginning turning into the creature, probably getting his next victim, and then someone snuffs him out or some shit like that.
So here's my hot take. The like whole
Uh-oh.
thing with the Wendigo is it's like a curse that you pass on. You infect somebody, and
Mhm.
then they have it now. So another big theme of the movie was like the abysmalness of the town. Like it was very gray and bleak
Oh,
and
it's
like
just
run down
There
because it was like a
nothing.
meth town. You know,
yeah.
evidently
Yeah,
there was a lot of drugs being run in town. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
Yeah, they were
it
doing
was
a
like
lot
an
of
old
ice.
mining town, and like it looks like it was probably old coal mining town.
Oregon's
And
pretty known
sure,
for being a big meth,
Capital.
place,
state
you know?
or whatever. Yeah.
okay,
Exactly.
They
So, I
kept
mean,
saying
if
Oregon,
you
and I
think
was
about
thinking
how
in my
the
mind
movie
West
opens,
Virginia.
even with the fact that like the Wendigo is shown very quick, well, not shown, but you're introduced to its presence like within 3 minutes of it starting, right? So, what else are you introduced to. You're introduced to a guy like making drugs with his like 5-year-old son in the truck. So you could take it to mean like, yeah, he got bit by the Wendigo and now he's infected, and also like apply that to the fact that he is a drug maker and whatnot. Not to say everyone that touches drugs are bad, but I mean, he threw his 5-year-old son again a bag of drugs, you know, to be like, hey, put this in the glove box, you know. So just like he inevitably infected him when they didn't listen to opening the door or keeping it shut, and they opened the door, he's infecting that son. He was the one with him. So yes, he got afflicted by the Wendigo, but he is also inflicted by the father's like negative energy, you know, like
Yes.
Yeah,
it's alluding to that if he was not killed as well, he would eventually become that, you know.
Well, you
much
could
like
say
he was a Wendigo.
killed his innocence.
So what I took the very end to be, when the brother of the woman, you know, was shown to have symptoms of turning very soon, he had said previously to her when she yelled at him, I think in the hospital or like the precinct,
It was a hospital.
he said, he said, you don't know what dad did to me, you know. So just like the dad was abused and abused her, he also abused him, and now you could take that to be, instead of being a drug maker, he is also going to maybe be abusive, you know, because he was affected by their father as well.
Yeah.
So he's continuing the chain. Yes, he is a Wendigo, but he could also be, it could be saying that he has that in his
apple doesn't fall far from
behavior to be abusive to a future child in his, you know what I mean?
And the two characters who didn't become a Wendigo like left that situation, I guess.
Or are morally above it, I guess. They have broken that cycle. Exactly.
I definitely thought it was interesting that only the people who had very significant trauma had the potential to be the next Wendigo. Because even though it skipped over, you know, the oldest brother and went to the youngest, you know, we don't get a lot of information on what they all went through. But I guess, you know, obviously maybe the dad was, you know, on a meth binge, and he was just, maybe he smacked the youngest son around a time too many, and he got maybe a really bad shiner, maybe some broken bones, or, you know, he almost put him, you know, to death. You know, people on drugs, you know, we all know they do different things in the moment of the rush. And then, like you said, with the brother, you know, we have no idea what the dad did to him. He could have, broken every rib in his body, every rib he had several times over, to the point they never healed correctly. Or he could have always been like, you know, you're such a, you know, I'm not going to say the word, because, you know, that one kid did say it.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're such a, you'll never be nothing. You'll never be a man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And just kind of just put him down into the dirt, to where he felt like, you know, he would never amount to anything.
Right.
And then I didn't think it would go to the brother. I was expecting the sister, especially after all the implications of the, you know, the sexual abuse, the drunken violence, and then the fact that, you know, she left and chose to, you know, come back to be with her brother.
I think due to her ending, like the ending, how she came to a closure, fought the Wendigo and saved the kid, is more like her getting her relief from somebody. Like that's what she wanted. That she was happier to do that for somebody else and pull them out of a situation and get them away from that, where she wished she could have, until she hit a certain age where she could have left that house, but then she fell into alcoholism and went down to the bad route that she was going, until she had to move back after her father's passing. And so I think after that, it cleared like all of her, like basically like all the issues that she was having kind of like resided, like just went away for her. Just went to that little box, like the little room in the back of her head now, because she doesn't have to deal with it anymore. It's just kind of worked through it in a way. So like it kind of just like bypassed, and like we keep on saying, the brother hasn't talked about his past. So he could be still holding on to what the fuck's been happening to him back when he was a kid. So he could be still building it up, including he was kind of getting a little frustrated with the sister being like this and that. And he's like, okay, we all have problems. So he still has the resignment of the freaking his abuse. So he's just holding on. So he was the next person.
I also like the line he said of we're not gonna make this. It's not about you. It's about Lucas. Because
Yes.
definitely watching it, I could tell she was projecting onto him. Like, I see the signs and I'm gonna help you, whether you like it or not. Because toward the end, Lucas said, it was the line that really just kind of it didn't hit a nerve, but it hit a chord of like, wow, this kid is, he's been struggling with this for, maybe weeks, months on end. He was like, my old dad is dead. The Wendigo is my new dad. And he's going to take me to my brother, Aiden. And, the only thing I have to do is keep bringing him, fresh kills and meat. And he's going to love me. And he's going to love me forever. Because, that's what he did while they were both essentially turning. He was bringing them dead raccoon, dead rabbit, maybe some other like fish or whatever he could get his hands on. He had a book on trapping, so he was very smart and ingenuitive. But he he was watching his father essentially die, and in his mind he was like, okay, that's not my dad anymore, this is my dad. And now he's healthy and all I got to do is keep just feeding him, and he's not going to hurt me ever again. He's not going to hurt my brother ever again. And we're going to be a happy family, just the three of us.
You know what? I didn't even realize that the dad was doing meth. In the
You didn't?
I didn't even pick that up. I don't know.
Well, he
maybe
wasn't
I'm
doing
doing
it. He was making it.
yeah. I didn't even pick that part up. I don't know. Maybe I got like I was.
Well,
eating up food.
I wouldn't. Oh god, damn it! I wouldn't doubt he wasn't using, because it states by the brother. He's like brother Paul. He's like mentioning that like he had to bring back the father multiple times from overdose. So like that's another toll that could happen. That could happen in front of his fucking kids, and we don't know.
Yeah,
but like that could have been another thing that could be in their drama. So that's even
definitely watching, even if you don't watch it, but just the fact of knowing like, oh, I had a family member OD and they were to the point of no return, but they had to be brought back. That's once you know that, it's the thought never leaves your mind like, oh, maybe tomorrow is going to be the day they go back on it, or the next time I see them they're going to be
another tier of like worry.
so just fried out of their mind they won't even know what they're doing.
I the nuances like that you guys are saying, I guess it's make me appreciate the movie a little bit more. I understood like it was definitely about like trauma and how it's like affecting the like you were saying, like the chain links, like down like the generational pull. There was just like, I don't know, like this movie isn't really like my cup of tea. It's a well-made movie. I definitely enjoyed it. It's like the cinematography was great. I thought the beginning opened like really strong. I thought it was like how it was set up, like the kids just like killing animals, and you're like, huh, what's that about? And we slowly figure out that he has a book on trapping like within his desk, and he kills a skunk, and you're just like, what's going on with that? But I don't know. I thought the beginning was like really well established, and then at the end, like when it kind of becomes a monster movie, it kind of loses me a little bit. It wasn't like I don't know. I felt like it was kind of like losing what it was saying in the beginning. It just, I mean, obviously you got to show the Wendigo in there, but there's just like a Native American character, just a shout out exposition. He was just kind of there for like literally like one scene, and then they brush over him, and then it just becomes like a monster movie. Which I like monster movies, but I wish it was like kind of more naturally connected, and like the design of the dad character, like when he was like, I don't know, just like a feral zombie looking guy. I wasn't really that scared of him. I was like, oh, he just looks fucked up. And I guess it was cool, like the build up for the Wendigo, like the shoot out of his head. You know, I guess it was a cool effect. But I feel like we didn't see the design enough for, at least for my liking.
That's also a
I kind of
complaint
like
that
that.
I have.
Though. I kind of like that we didn't see the design that much. It kind of holds that mystery. It's just
yeah,
holding
but you
it back.
see, it's just like at that point you see like the shadow of it, and like you see what it is, and like at that point like the curtain's revealed. You already seen the monster, so show it. You know, I don't know. It just kind of felt like a tease to me.
Yeah, because for me, I understand the use of silhouettes and shadows to showcase it, and then not even what I think it was 10 or so minutes later, you finally see the thing. And I'm like, but at that point, all the damage has been done. People are dead and it's getting ready to die. I would have liked to see it a little bit more. Like, oh, we maybe show that the dad's having a gradual transformation after he eats the lady's face. Like he just goes off in the woods and you just see him start convulsing and, maybe like two horns just start. And then you just see him start trying to animalistically walk. But that's that's just kind of a personal gripe that I had as well. I'm like, that could have been it could have been more subtle and also more well used. But it for what they used and showed the Wendigo for, I did like the design. I thought the horns shooting out of the dad's head and him essentially just being like a cocoon until he finished his metamorphosis. I thought that was very, very excellent. And how they said he essentially looked like a charred bag of human remains. I was like, you know what? I never thought about, doing something like that for a man to beast transformation.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good idea. I get that for sure. Like the metamorphosis of becoming a monster. It's definitely like an interesting idea, like the birth of it.
Yeah,
and I think another design that really impressed me was the younger brother, because in the flashbacks when Lucas was in the hospital, he goes to the door where his dad is, who's obviously he's still there, and he's like, food. And he tells him like Lucas is sick, and you can see he's got like the ink, like the jet black like blood ink like running through his veins and getting ready to start coming out from his eyes and nose and stuff. And he looks at him and then he looks back to Lucas. He grabs him, pulls him in, and immediately shuts the door. And then he goes back to his guttural and noises and growls. And then Lucas is just left to his devices like, oh, first, it was just my dad who's sick. Now my brother's sick, who was just fine not even, some time ago. So I'm sure at that moment he was thinking, am I going to be next? Am I going to have to find a way to lock myself in just like them? And then you can see he's, obvious, you can tell from the makeup and things that they use with the lighting, he's malnourished. He hadn't been eating at all. He was barely sleeping. He was essentially fighting for his life while fighting for his family. And I don't think that connection didn't really start hitting until I got more toward the end. And I'm like, you know what? He's, for like a 12-year-old kid, his whole world essentially just went up in a wildfire. And now he's like, I don't know what to do with myself and by myself. And then I still think he has some trauma because, at the end, the teacher wipes that little smudge off his lip. I still think he has the potential to be the next Wendigo if he doesn't go through like counseling or get closure, because he was right there with his back turned as the teacher, killed his little brother.
Yeah.
And she told him, she was like, just walk away. This has to be done. He's not coming back. I need you to understand that your little brother is just dead. He's going to turn into the same monster that your father did. And then I think the most human emotion that, we got was the hugging embrace that she gave to him right before she killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at the same time, Lucas covered his ears because it shows that he's been dealing with fighting all these just noises and knowing that I'm having to listen and watch my family die. And then with her being, I'm going to give a child something I was never given, which is, like a loving hug from, a trusted adult or friend. And then obviously, she took his life, and then that was the end of it before the curse passed on to her brother. But that just, that sequence will always stay with me because there's a lot of kids who go through something similar to that. My dad turns into a different person when he's been drinking, or, mommy goes out with these strange men every night and she comes back and she's, battered and bruised and all this other stuff. And then just all these other sources of trauma, which, the movie did deal with. But I think the use of the Wendigo curse and spirit is the best way to explain trauma in a setting to where you see how one monster can make so many more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to eat up all the time.
That's basically what this thing kind of does. Like any form, it basically manipulates you to do your worst and then become it. So in a way, that's was it another movie that was supposed to be like that? Was supposed to be like was it Pet Cemetery? But they barely used the Wendigo in it. That was in the books.
The
It, like, it
Wendigo's in
manipulates. Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
in
know
the
that.
I heard that
book.
was in the
It's in the book. It's like in the background manipulating the whole storyline of the Pet Cemetery story, and like he manipulates everybody to use the cemetery to bring back like their pet, like to bring back the family, basically. And like they don't do any of the gestures, and that's what happened. Like this is why I kind of like this one a lot. It does like the best it does with the Wendigo, other than what was that movie on Netflix? Oh God, was it
The Ritual.
Rambling
Ritual?
Idiots.
Yes, that's it. They did
What
a
the
they did
fuck?
a
How
good
did you
job.
know
It,
that?
Because I was thinking of that today.
it's
Why is
another
the fucking
Wendigo,
movie
but
expert?
it's another Wendigo storyline, but it's in the Switzerlands, and like it's a different form of like it's more of a deer creature that walks around, but with body parts that form this creature that makes up
Yeah, that's kind of
the
like more of what I
design.
think of. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I also
tough
think of.
looking deer. With, like,
And like
Is
it's just
that-
That's
weird.
what it's always been
Exactly the
portrayed
Wendigo
as.
though in the Ritual, or was it like based on it? Like I thought that was more like almost like not a Wendigo. Like it's like
It's
you
weird.
know how
It's weird.
God
Like
is Zeus. It's like similar but Eastern, not.
it's like a
American.
50. Yeah, it's like a 50-50 weird vibe. It's people claim it as a
where does
Wendigo
it take
for
place?
their
Scotland?
regions. No,
Where does it take-
Switzerland. The Swiss
Switzerland.
Alps. Like it's
So there's
like
probably like a
area.
version. There's probably like a version over there.
Yeah, their version of it over there.
Maybe like an elk. It might be more elk-like than deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking tall and it's weird as hell. It actually uses it's like has these like arm antlers, but it actually uses them as like abled arms to pick up like people and shit. and it's just like throughout the movie, you just get like it's more like psychological visions, and it does the drawback of like how this movie does, like everything that's like dark, eerie, what happened to you past, like the main character in that movie watched his best friend die in front of him, where he
Mhm.
could have actually tried to save him, but he decided to stay in like a corner and hold a freaking liquor bottle because he didn't want to get shot as well. And he holds that in regret like every fucking day. So every day he was sleeping in the woods, he would have this nightmare and it'd be replay over and over again. Meanwhile, things bad happening to his friends that on the hiking trail with him when they're doing this hike for like for the memory of their friend that passed away because he wanted to go on the hike over there. So and then
Wait,
all
so
this
this
shit
is
starts happening.
this is
This is another
what's
movie.
what
The
movie
Ritual.
is this? What's the
The Ritual on Netflix.
The Ritual.
Okay. See,
It's
I was
actually
I was
another
actually
crazy
thinking
movie.
that I was like thinking like during this movie like it would be interesting if like a few hikers like encountered the Wendigo, like especially like where it takes place in Oregon, you know. So
Well, it already
Mhm.
happened.
yeah, no, it's funny that you mentioned
Now-
that because I was like, that would be a good way to kind of establish the Wendigo,
No, it does a different take of like what's happening, but it has it's a different take with different problems and different situations, and there is like more due to that they're in like the woods, more physical tone is happening to them as well throughout the whole thing, and then there's like this sort of if you're a bad seed, like you're basically a horrible person inside, you are nominated to basically join the cult of the Wendigo that the Wendigo basically has and made of its own. And like it marks you and shit. It's weird. And everybody that's not marked is basically taken, tortured, and murdered by the Wendigo.
Now, I have a stupid question. I thought there was a way to stop the Wendigo curse.
yeah,
Because how I
there is.
always remembered it, it was, a cannibalism thing. So if you killed the
yeah.
Wendigo, that would essentially stop it until the next person would cannibalize another human.
Yeah,
Am I just making that up, or is that something
No,
that's
that's
factual?
that's an actual thing. It is like
Okay.
the origin of the Wendigo is like cannibalism.
That's-
like you eat a person, you become a Wendigo, or if a Wendigo eats you. It's something like that. The
So
only
it's basically
Okay.
this movie that we watched, The Antlers, definitely does that more of a tone,
Yeah,
like better because the other movie definitely doesn't do that at all.
That's
It's
why I
more
don't
like
think
this-
the ritual's about a Wendigo. I think that's
every
like
time I
a
looked it up, it's a
demigod.
Wendigo.
Is it? It's a Wendigo,
Yeah,
like really?
It's a Wendigo. It's supposedly every time I looked it up, like wondering what it was, or typed in if I forgot the name, like Wendigo movie on Netflix, like,
Mhm.
and that's what it comes up.
Interesting.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Switzerland had their own version.
Right.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot of
kinda what I'm
folklore shares similar themes.
Yeah, like the abominable snowman and like Sasquatch. Like it's basically like
Right.
the same thing.
Mhm.
Same thing.
One just
One's
hangs out
hot,
the
the
cold.
other's cold.
Nope. So what did you guys like with the creature? We talked about like how you guys didn't like the usage of him. How did you guys enjoy like kind of like the design once you kind of more saw the creature? Because when I was
I
watching
thought it was creepy as fucking shit.
yes,
And I hate it.
because
I don't really hate it, but I'm like, I hate this. It looks so
Yeah.
it's like part dog, human, moose. And I'm just like, God, and it's got the face. It's the face. And then he's got like the butt teeth. I'm just like, God, this is just ugly. I want to shoot it.
I liked how it was like a conglomeration of antlers. Like it reminded me of the backs of a xenomorph or something. How like
yes,
Yeah.
like intertwined, like vertebrae almost,
Yeah.
but like everything was like jutting out.
God, it was
Yeah,
just
it definitely did not look natural, which is like,
Which was
a
good.
good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
it was good. I'm glad they didn't use Well, obviously they used, like a deer as a
Oh
base, but
God,
they
just
just
wear
kind of
deer. That's
altered
all we
it.
got.
But I'm like, God, this thing is
Josh.
just so freaky looking.
Josh, remember
And then
Time
the
Splitters?
face. I can't get over the face.
Are you talking about like the sheet of skin that sits on it, like it's on his
Yes.
face until
Yeah,
they
I'm
rip
just
it
like,
off?
The face. I
Yeah.
hate it.
I got
Because that's
creeped
like
out
the
by
last
that
little
too.
bit of his humanity right there. I'm like,
Yeah, and he
he's
just got
gone.
rid
Take
of
the
it.
face off.
Yeah, they ripped it off once he started to fight everybody else. So that basically he just threw away his last bit of humanity. But Josh, remember
actually. Sorry, go ahead.
But no, go for it because I'm just gonna spin off for a second again.
Okay, I was gonna say, when I first saw that, and I'm still not convinced. I didn't think that was his face because I thought I remembered when they found his husk, he had at least half of his eyes. So that face he had when she found him had like a full this. So maybe I was wrong about what was left of the dad, but certainly he was already a Wendigo when he pulled that like Looney Tunes thing on everyone at the shed and like rammed it like 20 times. So
definitely
that
was
skin
Wendigo.
stayed on the entire time. Like I don't know if that was, you know what I mean? Like
maybe
that
like
was
a
very
space
Wiley
face,
Coyote.
it might have been who he was eating, but he's
when-
like I don't know, playing with his food.
It's like his little veil that he has, when he goes back to his little happy place, he puts it on to let him know he's like, this used to be me. This used to be me.
Yeah,
And
right.
then
But it is his victim.
yeah, and then at the same time, he threw it off, and he's like, all right, I'm pissed. I'm gonna start murdering you like a freaking animal, like I am now. So,
Well, maybe he used the face to emulate a human voice in pain, so he could lure out the next victim.
He used the fucking kid. He used the kid for that. That's what he did.
The kid was just there for flavor text. We didn't care about the other kid. He literally had maybe 13 lines the whole movie.
Yeah,
true, but no,
I'm like, he was just there for flavor. He didn't do anything else but perpetuate the curse.
That's just horrible. But
I do agree with Ryan. I'm like, there's no way that fucking face skin is staying on after your grandma shed 30 times to kill a dude.
Yeah.
Like
it was kind of
ridiculous. Guy, and then the partner, the brother comes up, and it's like you're gonna fall for it again.
He just gets, and
then when the sister came back, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I was expecting her to get like stabbed as well, and then like nothing happened to her, and she kept like going solo, like I'm gonna go for it. I got this. And she kept like pursuing the Wendigo, and she didn't get any scratches or anything happen.
Yeah,
to
that
her.
did
like,
bother me.
She should have at least got damaged,
She should have had like a missing limb or something,
Yeah.
Like snack, like
bite a hand. The brother should have been dead. The brother should have been.
He should have died. There's no way he could have lived through that.
Well, he's Wendigo now. They have a sequel.
Well, he only got hit.
Yeah,
that was the thing too. I guess he got hit by like a truck, so I don't know.
No,
he has a whole horn going through, like
yeah.
He got like literally stabbed through the chest and then flared around, flamed to the other side of the shed, and all that shit. I'm like,
had a concussion confirmed.
It was his
not important.
Yeah.
There's no arteries.
He had a concussion. He should have died from brain.
But Josh, I wanted to bring up this design could have been that freaking remember Time Splitters? That game that we used to play back when we were kids?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Remember the moose creature? Remember the moose creature?
I have to look it up. I vaguely remember that.
I can't, for some reason, I can't share on my computer ever for some stupid reason. Let me see.
I think all the screens are full.
We have full screens, so we can't like pull up another screen anyway.
No. Well, one of us would just get booted. That's like really the thing, but I'm not gonna do that.
It would be whoever shares it. Right?
So, did you play this game before or after you guys would play Gumby?
Oh man, this is a throwback. I almost forgot.
Yeah,
Matt, did you guys play this before or after Gumby?
What?
Did you guys play this game before or after Gumby?
I think at the same time, like same time period. This was the game that I'm talking about is like a game Josh had, and he would bring it over my house. But let's play this game, and he would always play as this character or a monkey.
Yeah,
The monkey was
it's basic.
tight.
Yeah, the monkey was like the odd job of the game because he was like
You'd never
pretty
expect
small.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that game was fucking awesome. Now I want to play that.
I think I own it on Xbox, like a regular Xbox
Oh, man.
original. Oh god.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only like Wendigo like piece of media I really like have any association with is Until Dawn, but that isn't. I wouldn't even consider that like a real Wendigo. It's more like a scientific experiment that kind of like acts like a Wendigo in that
I
game.
never beat that game.
Yeah, I quit. That was like I killed 2 characters. I'm like, I'm not killing the people that I like. I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
I tried to kill the characters.
Yeah, that's the fun part about the game. You know, you
Yeah.
can really like fuck up and kill everyone. You know.
All right, now, Jerry, you're reminding me of Latrey right now, playing the quarry right now. I killed my favorite character. I don't know if I can keep on going.
Yeah, because I killed the black guy and like one of the other really cool dudes, and I'm like, well, they're dead, and I don't have any attachment to all these other assholes. What the fuck do I want to play for?
Yeah, there's like 2 characters I really wanted to live in. Like, I think my first playthrough, and I think I got them to live. No, I killed one of them. I don't know, but I had to play it again. I played it a couple of times. I was like, I want these characters to live, and I want these characters to die. So, like, you kind of purposely can fuck up.
I
if you don't
remember.
like someone.
I remember because I didn't have it. You bought it. You wanted to what's it called? Keep everybody alive for one game. You wanted to see if you can try.
Yeah,
to.
I still never.
I don't think you
You can do it. It's just hard.
But I don't think it's possible. Is it possible?
I think
It's
I
possible.
think you can.
Is it?
Yeah, I think.
But
Jesus
you have to
Christ.
make
Hard.
the right decisions
Yeah.
at every like moment.
Yeah.
Wait,
And I'm like, this is doing too much. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I only had 2 people I want to live, and I killed them, so fuck the game.
Yeah. This is like one of those games where you have to stay still for I don't know X amount of seconds, and even if you like slightly move, like even like a micro like movement, it will offset the game, and your character will die. Like it registers the readings of your reflexes.
Oh,
with
you
the
wanted
controller.
this character to go left? Alrighty.
Yeah, exactly. like I actually had my sister. I had my sister play it because I was like, I already played this game. I'm just curious what you're gonna do, you know. And like, I think she like had one character live. She actually she played the whole game.
She did. Janelle?
Yeah. And it's like
damn.
the only game she played like all the way through. But like every time like there was
bullshit play.
yeah, one of those movements, you like put the controller down on the table. I'm like, yeah, that's smart. Just put it down so you don't even have to touch the fucking thing.
Oh god. What is that? I wanted to mention back to like Antlers. I remember watching this trailer for this thing. And you know how vague they were with this movie in the trailer?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were fucking huge.
What?
I heard
remember
the
that.
trailer's like really good. That's
Like, the
what I-
trailer-
Yeah, the
is
trailer
so
basically
vague.
matched the movie. And the antlers were like the size of the youngest son, if I
Really?
remember right.
Well,
Is
the
that,
thing is,
Crispy, am I remembering that right or is that wrong?
no, like it's weird. It's weird. They had like multiple, like I think they had 3 main trailers, but each one was fucking different from each other, and you had like different forms of things. So they never explained the father and the brother being in the attic at all together. It's just something's in the fucking attic, and the kid's just feeding it. So you think you just got a pet Wendigo? That's all it looks like. He has a pet Wendigo living in his attic. So you're like, what the fuck's up with this whole kid having a Wendigo? And later on, it like shows out like it breaks out of a window, and it has this weird form. It doesn't even look like it was taking a form of the Wendigo. It was like more of like the form of a human more, and then it was more just like different shots of things happening, but none of it shows like some of it does not show up in the movie. Like certain things, like the guy gets like they're in the mine, the lighting of the people, like that looked like the person that like lit up was supposed to be like the father in like Wendigo transformation settings, but like that we don't see that. We see them get mutilated in the freaking in the tunnels and stuff. We don't see like the father going through the stuff with like lights flashing on him. It was like a weird, different take, and then like we get this movie that comes out, and we're like, oh, this is different than what I fucking just watched as a trailer. So I thought it was gonna be more like slash them, dash them. We're just gonna keep murdering fucking bitches left and right until we get to the end and someone kills it. But at the end of the product, we end up getting a whole emotion, distraught, just depressing, what the fuck's happening, creature film that's going on.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, it's a thought provoking movie. Like the thing is, there's like two things I wish. Like I wish the kid, the main character, like had something a little bit more to his character than he's just traumatized. You know, like he didn't. There was like nothing else I could really tell you about his character, like about his personality, besides like, oh, he's a traumatized kid. Like it was not like,
he's
oh,
a kid
he
in a
likes
fucked up situation
to go fishing, or like he likes animal trapping. Like he did this in the past, and he just like, but no, it's a necessity. So like, I don't know. There's like nothing on top of like he's just like
he doesn't have any substance.
You know, I don't know anything else about his character besides, you know.
Yeah,
the trauma.
I do agree with that. Because I'm like, outside of, you know, the Wendigo family, what's his favorite color? What's his mom's name? We know what she looks like, but what's her name?
Yeah, like a little bit like a sense of character, like just something
Like
else that we could kind of
just a little more meat to the sandwich.
I feel like
Wait,
his
what?
lack of character is his character, because
Yeah.
he's dealing with his dad at home, regardless of him being infected. He's like a meth maker, and then he can't even have creativity at school because he's getting bullied. So
true.
I mean, he's only has 10 years under his belt. He can't really.
Like his character kind of went like this big, probably, then to like this big, due to all the issues that have been happening.
Yeah, I guess it would have been nice to kind of see a little bit more of his transformation. I guess like him like kind of subtly going into himself. I guess you have to start earlier, but yeah. I guess it's like you could just kind of put yourself into that character and go like, oh, okay, he's kind of like a blank slate kind of character. But I don't know. I guess he's good at drawing. There is something. He's an artist, I guess.
He is good at trapping. I will say, as a 12-year-old, he's a very good amateur trapper.
Yeah. Well, it would have been nice to see, like, I don't know, like maybe he went fishing with his dad, and that's kind of like where he knows some information on how to trap.
I almost feel like he taught himself out of necessity.
Yeah, no, he definitely did.
Didn't go with his dad.
Yeah. I guess his dad was a piece of shit even before he was a Wendigo. So,
well, we got 2 comments here from Rihanna Armstrong here. Black and red is his favorite color. That's answering Jerry.
Definitely.
That makes sense. Okay, all right, that's fair.
And then she says his character is kind of like showing his fighter. He's a fighter since he keeps on going. More like it's like more.
Yeah, that is true.
Fight thing.
He was a fighter.
He keeps going,
even all the way to the end.
Down.
Yeah, he didn't give up. That's true.
Even at the end, when he was like, "My dad is finally gone," and he, gave her that opening, and when he stabbed him in the lower part of the heart, I was like, that does make sense. I didn't think about that.
It would have been nice to see like where, I guess obviously you could kind of just like imply that the bully is getting bullied at home. You know, it would have been kind of nice to see. He kind of felt like a one note kind of character. You know, he's just there, just the bully, the main character, the main kid. It would have been nice to kind of.
I'm glad he died.
Show a little bit of his backstory, just like something. You know, his dad hitting him in the head, like for 1 second. He's like, "Oh, you suck." I don't know, but it just seemed like just like one of those like basic like bully characters that you would get in any movie.
Yeah, he was the bully was kind of one note. And then when he had like the dog poop in his backpack and looked at him, he was like, "You did this, didn't you?"
Yeah.
That could have been any other kid. Why are you choosing this one?
No. You know what happened there is it showed it in a previous scene where like the kid was in his room and he cut off
He cut off the sock monkey head
because he knew he would take it from him. So he stuffed his own toy with dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that's right.
So not only is he a fighter, he's smart. You know, but we knew that because he was making traps and stuff.
That's true.
I completely overlooked that. Thank you, Ryan. I forgot all about that scene. I'm like, what the hell is this kid doing?
It could have been someone else's monkey, man.
What? Rihanna, I think more brutal for the kid's death. I don't think that's okay.
Yes, that was okay because that kid said a slur and he got what he deserved.
I understand this. I understand, but more brutal than we actually get to see in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I would have liked to see like an arm go flying.
You want to see the fucking everything go everywhere?
Yeah, I thought she was talking about
just like
no.
I thought she was talking about the little brother. I was like, oh man, that's fucked up.
No, once we start talking about the bully, she's like, yeah, I'm glad he died too.
Crispy,
it should have been more brutal.
Crispy, you remember at the end of Fear 3, right?
Oh God, you're trying to make me remember a game that's fucking old right now.
Yes, I
am. Remember Time Splitters like
I know,
20 minutes.
But that was a bullshit game. This is story.
There's a story.
Remember at the end of Fear 3 when the brother possesses his twin's body and he starts eating their mom. He's just food. Just there's blood, just shit going everywhere. That's what should have happened.
Well, Rihanna says Jerry gets it. Thumbs up.
Yes, that kid deserved death. He deserved worse than death.
Oh shit!
They should have killed that.
He deserves to die, be reborn, and died again. Necromancy. Chris, I'm going to find that scene. I'm going to send it to you, and you're going to understand what I mean.
Go ahead. I remember I tried playing like freaking was it Fear 3 not that long ago, but my internet for my PlayStation sucks so bad it won't render freaking stream like PlayStation 3 games getting streamed. So it's bullshit. It was glitchy the whole time. I'm trying to play it, just like I got like that. I'm like, why can't I walk straight? But it works here for the podcast, though. That's the plus side.
Well, we are being blessed by the light.
No, you are.
Yeah.
Just you.
Yes, I am.
Well, Ryan gets a little bit. He gets a little bit in his corner there, but Jerry always gets the light. So what's your guys like rating?
Let's start with Ryan. Let's go with Ryan.
Yeah.
He seemed like he had the most nuances of the movie.
What was the question?
What's your rating on this?
Rating
7.5.
and final thoughts. No, there you go.
7.5. I'd watch it again, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure there's more you could pick up from it on a second watch, you know.
That's fair.
I think that's very fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow behind Ryan. I'm gonna give this also. I'm a 7.5, but I'm leaning more toward an 8. There is a lot to unpack in this movie, and I feel it would take maybe 3 to 5, viewings and revisiting to fully digest everything. Because I feel like, if you pause this clip here, you'll understand why the dad was the way he was because of some interaction in his past with, maybe his wife or, whatever. And I will say the lack of, information that they give us for, the main characters and some of the background characters, I'm like, it did take away a few pieces because, I do enjoy like, okay, I know this about this character. I understand them a little more. I have a minimalistic attachment to them, or I want them to fucking die and get murdered. But it did take away from some slight enjoyment. Do enjoy how they bring up and deal with trauma and how it is a vicious cycle that needs to be, addressed and taken seriously because, you can take your trauma out on someone else who had who had no way of knowing or being a part of it. And then you're just starting that wickedness all over again. Wendigo design, 10 out of 10. It was disgusting. It was creepy all the way from human to beast. I would have liked to see more of the Native American, interaction because I felt like that would have been a very, positive way to, end the Wendigo curse and say, him bring up maybe some kind of ancient spiritual, like, knowledge or a very good way of saying we need to address a few things to prevent this from happening again. But overall, this is a very solid movie. I'd watch this again.
I think there's a deleted scene that expands the knowledge section of the movie that kind of feels like it should have been in there. But I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. I think it's a deleted scene I saw on YouTube that it expanded the knowledge part of it and that we should have had in the movie, but, runtime. So, Josh, what do you got?
Look that up. I'm very
I
curious.
thought you were just gonna go into your rating. So
No.
What's your
I'm
rating?
last. I'll stay last right now.
Okay.
You dickhead.
I like the movie. I think that the opening, the beginning is like stronger than the ending. I don't know that it just could be just my personal preference, but I think the setup is very strong, and then it kind of gets a little hammy and lackluster once, like Ryan was saying with the shed scene, it kind of came comedic and just like bombastic. I was like, okay, I can't really take this seriously anymore. The lighting seemed kind of, I don't know, it seemed kind of flat to me. It didn't like have like grit to it, and I don't know, it's just like my own personal preference. Just with the lighting, it didn't really have that horror movie lighting. It just kind of seemed like everything kind of looked pretty flat, and
it felt like
like contrasting. Yeah, not too much like contrasting shadows and stuff. I mean, there's a little bit at the end, but I don't know. I wish it was like a little dirtier looking with lighting.
I think that's like the point was more like it was dull, like nothing. This is a dull town, dull things happen, and there is a dark side to it, but it hasn't been like released yet until later on.
I wish it was just a little. I guess there's a little bit more appealing, I guess, or like something to kind of grasp on, because like everything was just almost too flat and boring, for me. But I get it. It fits the themes, but I don't know. There could have been a little bit more pop, I think. I give this movie like a 6.5. I probably wouldn't choose to watch it again. I would watch it like if someone put it on, but I don't think I would like selectively watch it. But it's a good movie.
Okay.
It's definitely a slow burn. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it is.
Sure.
But it's a good pace for a slow burn.
That's what I mean. I like the opening so much, and I'm like, I like that slow burn in the beginning, and then like it just became like kind of nonsense at the end for me.
Yeah, we get to see it picking up more once the Wendigo is a thing. It kind of picks up the pace more and starts trying to run until we get to the end. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it just felt like the end was like sprinting. I don't know.
Oh, we got to get rid of a problem. But before I go with my ratings here, Rihanna actually rated it herself. She does an 8.8 out of 10. And she agrees. What was it with the backstories for the creature? There should have been like more of it.
I agree with that for sure.
I definitely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, I said that before.
Yes,
I double agree with myself.
She's agreeing with you. But I thought I was gonna break the like the 8 marker, but it looks like Rihanna decided to take it upon herself. So I was gonna go with an 8 with this movie. But I do agree with like all you like with Jerry with the creature should have been like more backstory. I agree with like Josh saying we have like different here and there colors, but I understood where we are going with it. Like
Yeah.
how like the story was getting told. But like I kind of wish we had the old chief in the movie more than just like
Mhm.
he pops up here and there, but like it wasn't like more like until when they try to get the like what are we fighting off thing. That's when we really get him to really be there and talk with us. So I kind of wish he was more of a presence here and like there. Like I feels like he kind of maybe like influenced maybe like the father because the father had like Native American like knowledge and stuff, and we don't have a background of like what the father is, like what the father's like ancestor is, or who taught him the Native American like ways because he was using like what's it called like certain these what was it some kind of bags he was hanging up to keep evil spirits away and all that
Wards,
stuff.
charms.
Yes, the charms and stuff. And like the chief is like, yeah, that's the old chief is like, yeah, that's old like Native American like style stuff. Like this guy was really trying to protect himself from something like evil. So like I kind of want to know like was like he kind of teaching him like did he like teach him something or is there another person that the father learned from that we have like another like a Native American character that's here in like the storyline? That's kind of like something I kind of always wondered with this movie, but maybe we get a prequel.
I would like to see more from this movie. I do agree.
Because
Yeah, I
it
can
kind
see
of felt
more
like
in the universe.
yeah, because it kind of feels like that character, like that chief character, would have been like a good like balance point of like actually letting us focus more like here and there stuff. So, anybody else got anything else to say? Because we all did the ratings. All right,
I'm done.
I'm done.
I fucking critically analyzed the shit out of this, and I wasn't trying to do that.
I think
Well,
this movie is fair. It's fair for this movie. I think it kind of wants you to pick up on those subtleties and all the backstory and how it's influenced by trauma and substance abuse and how it's all linked and kind of
Mhm.
the cycle creates more monsters. So that's like the whole point of the movie. That's what it's saying.
This was not a fun light show. It was
No.
definitely
Buzz
like
Lightyear, I'll say that.
Yeah, for sure.
it's basically teaching us all a lesson that if we don't shape up, we're all going to become like a monster in a somewhat form. So
Yeah.
we
Be a
better
monster
fix
right
ourselves,
now.
guys, if we have any issues. All right.
Josh, before we close out, you want to tell us what the picks are for next episode?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Jerry. So it's my picks for next episode. So for the short, I'm going to do The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, the Disney version from 1940, whatever. And the Johnny Depp one from the 90s, the Tim Burton Legend of Sleepy Hollow. So we're going to do a Legend of Sleepy Hollow episode.
Okay.
That's not what I was expecting, but I'm that's good. I'm very surprised.
And
Okay,
Ryan, you feel free. You could come back anytime. And you should throw next time you come on or whatever. You should throw movies at us. I'd be curious what you give us.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
If you got any
fuck yeah.
like Halloween style stuff, we're continuing through Christmas.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Pretty
Halloween all the
well
way
ordered
till
thing.
January 1st.
Yeah. we bypass Christmas. It's already here in stores, so fuck it. Let's keep going with Halloween. We got one more question from Rihanna before we go. Am I the only one that loves dark, sad themed movies?
No.
It depends on the context.
No, you're
True.
not the only one.
Same.
I think it really depends on my mood and the movie.
Yeah. If the movie has a good plot, I'm here for it. But if it's kind of mid, I'm like, you can throw it in the bin.
Yeah.
Good way
Exactly.
of saying it.
So
Go ahead
and close
I guess
this
we'll
out, man.
sign off. So this was
Yeah.
Josh from BatYard's Finest, sending you off, up, and away until next BatYard's Finest episode.
And
This is Jerry guiding you all with Green Lantern's light.
and I'm Superman's pal, Matt. And down below there, have we told Ryan our ending?
I don't think
No, we didn't tell Ryan the outro. Just let him-
Ryan, just say your name. Just say something.
Give us
And
a
then
good
you
outro,
finish
Ryan.
up that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been real.
And
And we're
us
becoming super
becoming
pals
Superman.
one episode at a time.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. All right, we did it.
Yay. Welcome to
I don't know why it's,
spooky
like,
season,
lagging
everybody.
right now.
I think that's just started now.
Happy
Actually,
Halloween.